This morning I got a call regarding my customer's engine. He bought an engine from some dismantle yard, I believe in New Jersey, and it was shipped from Texas. Well, after inspecting the engine, I discovered the engine has internal problems. The oil was mixed up with coolant. The oil filter housing was mixed up with coolant. There was a sludge between oil and coolant up under the valve cover. I removed the camshafts and found it under the cam loops as well. So I contacted my customer. He in return contacted the company where he purchased the engine from, and we also submitted pictures. They contacted me a day later and were telling me to get the engine ready to be shipped back. Well, that didn't happen for about approximately a week. So this company was telling my customer that they did have contacted me, but they never did. So finally this morning, Wednesday, I got a call, and they finally sent me or emailed me the shipping label, and they said the engine will be picked up today. So I'm gonna record this because at this point in time I don't trust this company anymore, because I believe, because I'm doing this for a very long time, they were just stalling for time for whatever reason. And so the engine is back on the pallet as they requested. Here's all their numbers, all their markings, and I'm gonna load it up just as they got it. So what I'm suspecting here, this was actually a core engine, a rebuildable core, unless they were very sloppy in their quality control that they just simply overlooked the issue. Because for shipping they had to drain the oil, and they must have seen that the oil was contaminated with coolant. Nothing to see really on the outside, because this is, like I said, this is all internal, and I just really want to make sure that I document everything here, because again, I have a bad feeling about this company. The way they acted, they lied a few times to my customer regarding this recalling this motor. So I'm not quite sure how they're gonna handle it, how long it's gonna take them to reimburse my customer for either this engine money-wise, or if they send them a different engine. That's out of my control. I just want to make sure from my end that I clearly document the engine gets shipped back in the same condition as I had initially received it. Okay, the engine is loaded back up on my tractor, so I'm just waiting for the truck to come by here and pick it up. I'm going to load it back up on this truck, just like I unloaded it. So making sure to that all the markings are clearly seen here, what they had put on there. So here on top, 2007 A4 Audi engine, 4-cylinder turbo. Here's the turbocharger, their marking, cylinder head markings. That's how I received this motor. And then the timing cover markings. And that's it. Yeah, like I said, now I'm waiting for this truck to pick it up, and hopefully it won't take long till my customer is gonna get either a replacement engine that is good, as they probably told him, or they just refund his money and he can purchase an engine somewhere else. The idea was that he gets basically a drop-in engine, because I advised my customer not to rebuild his own engine, which had locked up camshafts. This is actually his old engine, because rebuilding those engines is tricky. It's going to be expensive, time-wise, part-wise. I would have to rely on third-party machine shops, and lately I have bad experience with those. I guess they're overworked and understaffed, whatever the reason may be. So installing a fairly low miles used engine would be the most logical way to go with this. Of course, not an engine that's already bad. But I would not install this engine, because it's going to end up that there's going to be a hidden problem. I'm suspecting either a defective head gasket, maybe the engine overheated at one point in time. It's not able to test that right now anyways, because to perform block tests it would have to be installed and running. Or second possibility, that this particular part here, which is the engine oil cooler, internally failed and coolant got induced into the engine lubrication system. That happens on those things before. Either way, I can't tell at this point in time if the main and rod bearings are already damaged due to the coolant in the engine oil. I definitely found scuff marks already on the cam bearing surfaces. Not too bad yet, but not good either. With those type of motors, dual overhead cams, they're running on tight tolerances. I just cannot under no circumstances recommend to just put this engine in and just hope for the best, because it's who pays for all this time if I have to take it back out. And notoriously those junkyards, they just try to fight this off in the end anyways. It's going to be an endless battling, going back and forth, phone calls that's not going to be answered. I've been this route before, and I'm just simply not going to do it, and it's not in the interest of my customer, because he needs his vehicle back to go to work and earn his bread and butter. So this is not a joking matter. This is not something like, it's not a toy that it's okay if it doesn't run for a year. No, this thing has to go back on the road. That was the whole idea in the first place. So thanks to a company that apparently does not care too much about quality control, or just don't care at all. I don't know what the scenario is, but it just delays everything. Okay, I believe this should be enough documentation for just in case.